Hey everyone, and welcome to the results video of the mini long plots contest. In this contest, all the players had to build something on a plot that was 30 by 3 tiles long. So I always like doing these contests which greatly restrict players in their freedom, because that's usually when the greatest, when they have to get creative, and then the most creative entries come about. Anyway, we got some beautiful entries in this round. I'll start with the one that got last place, and I'll finish by announcing who is the winner of this round. Okay, in last place we have 73. He made this dark coaster on this plot. Well, it's actually a pair of coasters. We see a vertical drop coaster here, which travels up quite quickly. And we see the single rail coaster. Yeah, also there's some buildings which it sits in. The buildings are a little bit on the glitchy side, as you may be able to see when I move around. It does look alright. But I think why most people score it a bit lower is because it's a little bit lacking in details. There's some nice catchy details here and there. Would probably make it look a lot better. And probably the coaster is also a little bit on the fast side. Right, 73 was actually tied with this park from OpenRCT2. OpenRCT2 made this chutes ride. So there's actually a little boat in here. It goes off this hill, then it splashes down in the water here, and then finally it retracts back into the station. So yeah, quite a fun ride, I think. But this park definitely could have used a little bit more decoration, especially on this side. Alright, next up is this park from Zero-T. Zero-T made this pretty cool launched coaster. I think this is a pretty cool layout. It's fun to watch this coaster get launched here. It actually does probably like 5 launches here before it finally makes it up and through the layout. Yeah, it's actually quite fun watching this coaster go around. I think it's a pretty cool layout. Pretty intricate support structure here. You can also see some shops under here and a queue line. So yeah, what I think would have made this entry score much higher, probably if the queue was decorated a bit more nicely. Because now it's just bare queue here. Also not really much of a station building. That probably also would have helped. And the shops just be sitting here bare bones under the support structure of the coaster. Probably also doesn't really help. So yeah, just lots of little points where it could have been easily improved a lot. But still, I think the coaster layout here is pretty cool. Okay, here we have the entry from Only Chaos DJ. So it's a coaster that actually gets retracted back. I will speed it up a little bit so we see it in action. So it's single rail coaster, gets retracted up here, up on the spike, and goes through this crazy loop. And here it travels inside this tube, and at some point in this tube it travels back through the layout and does everything backwards. I think it's actually a fun idea for a coaster. Definitely something that could work maybe for a real coaster. Although the layout does look a little bit wonky. For example, this loop. I think it probably would have looked much nicer if this was an actual large loop and if it went back to the ground here rather than staying so high up. But yeah, it's quite an unconventional layout, and I quite like it. Alright, here's the entry from Mosquito. Mosquito made quite a nice landscape here. You can see this all these layers of rock here on the side. And here we can see a little lake with a waterfall. I think that's really nicely done, especially considering the map is only 3 tiles wide. Here we can see a little Ferris wheel. And you can also see a building here which looks like it's the end of a tram line of sorts. You can also see the path crossing the road here. So yeah, it all looks pretty nice. I think only one small improvement that maybe could have been made is if the colors were a bit more, if the colors were a bit more the same, maybe. There's now lots of different colors in the map. Yeah, probably if there was like an overarching theme, maybe this part would have been nicer. But overall, I think this is a really cool entry. Okay, here's the entry from NFE. Very creative entry. I believe it was something like Tetris Land or something. So you can see all these blocks here in the sky, which, well, most of them actually are like shaped like Tetris blocks. I guess some of these are a little bit more 3D. But yeah, I think it's quite nicely done. Now, you can also see this go-kart travel around below here. I think would have been nice if the go-kart was actually flat and maybe it was riding on top of some of these blocks, which would have been stacked nicely. But yeah, now it's just weaving in between. Yeah, the biggest gripe for me for this entry was actually these paths that were placed here. I don't mind the blue path, but I think these wooden railings don't really fit with the rest of the theme of the park. And in the new save format of OpenRCT2, you can actually select the railings you want on your paths. So I think that's a bit of a missed opportunity. But I do really like all these Tetris blocks. Alright, next entry is from R. Adrian 1994. I think this is a really cool scenic landscape. Yeah, lots of height difference, a little river here in the middle. I really like this mini tram line that he made. Yeah, probably not very practical, but I would for sure give this a ride. And I actually really like how he decorated the edge of his plot with all these fences here. I think that that just makes it look different, and yeah, I really like the way this is done. Okay, here's the entry from Low Poly Surf. Oh, he made something completely different. So this is a ride called whitewater rafting, and yeah, the guests actually get onto the boats here, and then they looks like they raft down this rocky river here. I think this is pretty cool how he did this here. Personally, I would probably put sloped river rapids pieces here, or splash boat track, just to make it look like more like there's water going down. But probably, yeah, probably Low Poly Surf wanted to make it look more like rocks. I'm not sure. But yeah, I think it's very creative entry, unlike any other entry we have seen in this round. Okay, then we have a tie for 10th place. This one's from The Brew. So it looks like he made a little tram line. And we can see a building here on the bottom, and a building here at the top, and there's a tram that goes between these two buildings. So here we can see it slowly traveling upwards. Now I'm not really sure how he made it to go at 3 kilometers per hour. It goes 3 kilometers per hour when going up and when going down. Maybe it's something he did with the right vehicle editor. With it you can probably set the max speed very slow and the acceleration very high, and that should help it keep its speed. So that's probably what has been done here. Yeah, what I really like in this entry is actually the foliage. It's a nice autumny feel with these trees here in all these different colors. Alright, here's the entry from Noha. Oh, I really like this entry personally. Yeah, I think it has a really nice theming. Yeah, you can see this desert landscape here. It's a little mine train. We can see some mine scenery over here. Yeah, we can see a Ferris wheel, also in colors that fit really well with the rest of the plot. And we have this launch freefall here, or this rotor drop, I mean, with this skull on top. So yeah, I was actually the one who gave this entry the highest score of all the voters. So yeah, I really liked it. So yeah, just a wonderful job from Noah. Okay, here's the entry from Bo Jiden. Yeah, he made this fun little coaster. It's a wooden wild mouse coaster with these mine cars. And he put it inside this big building here, which is nicely decorated using all these recolored canyon rocks. Yeah, also quite an intricate queue structure here and a path structure above it. Now I quite like how we themed this ride. You can see some ice here on top, kind of like a glacier. And we can also see the coaster go around here on the lower levels. What I really like is these cutouts that he made in this building, so we can actually see the coaster travel around below here. Yeah, this is a really fun entry from Bo Jiden. Alright, then we make a small jump in score. Here's the entry from Uno Reverser Coaster. Now, obviously, this is a scene from the Donkey Kong game for the NES. Yeah, I think it's really cool how we recreated this scene here on this map. I think yeah, this makes great use, of course, of the limited area that was available for this map. Although I do think there's a little bit of a missed opportunity in that I would have really loved to see something roll down here on these steel beams. Alright, here's the entry from Lurker. You could already see it in the beginning of the video. Now, as usual, Lurker just put down a really charming scene. We can see a few gentle rides here. Here there's a spiral slide and a Ferris wheel, and somehow he made it not look cramped, so I think that's really good. You can also see a maze here at the bottom level. I really like these little cutouts here which show the lower levels of the map. Yeah, that just gives the map an extra dimension. And just, yeah, I think it's just really nicely done. You can also see a little boat going around here. Yeah, people really like putting a river here in the middle of their map. But Lurker actually also put a little boat ride in it. So it's the wonderful entry from Lurker. Once again, very charming. Alright, next up is the entry from FlixSpy. He built this particle accelerator. At least that's what he called it in his story. So we can see it is a single rail coaster. It will actually travel through this pipe. Now it is a little bit tricky to follow, since it's of course hidden in this tube. It actually rotates around a few times, and then finally it travels part way up this spike before it returns back to the station. I think must have been quite a cool ride to actually be on for these guests, and probably also a little bit nauseating. But yeah, definitely a fun entry. I really like how this is decorated, especially this part over here. I think it looks pretty cool with all these different track pieces and all these scenery pieces. And of course the tube itself also looks really nice. Yeah, all these, there's lots of parts here from the expansions. I think that together they're all used very nicely. So yeah, it's a wonderful entry here. Alright, next up is the entry from Skifa. Now he made this wonderful building here. It actually looks nice from all angles. It's a really cool looking building, and it also has a coaster traveling through it. Yeah, I just really like the way Skifa did these roofs here. Also all the little details on the building, like this little sign here. Here's another sign. There's some really nice, nicely done windows. There's walkways. Here's another ride traveling through this entry. I believe it's actually a log flume that travels around on this river rapids track. That's what enables it to do these tight turns. Yeah, it's just also just fun watching this coaster travel around here. Here's a Ferris wheel on the edge here. You can see the water falling off the map here with this waterfall. Yeah, just everywhere you look you can see all these fun little details. Also love this little drop here with a little gap in the building. Yeah, just fun little details all throughout this map. Okay, here's the next entry. This one's from Enox, and he recreated a bridge that I believe is somewhere in America. Yeah, this I think this bridge looks amazing. I love the structure for the bridge that he made. It's also really fun that he made this walkway here inside the bridge where you can actually see the guests walk around. Yeah, that's just really nicely done. Also love the colors that he made on the bridge. My favorite part is actually how he made the support structure. He used this single rail coaster track for it, and yeah, this arch just looks amazing. I really love the support structure for the bridge. Also, you can see this tunnel entrance that he made here. But the foliage looks wonderful. So yeah, this personally was one of my favorite entries of the round. So yeah, just an amazing job from Enox. It just looks wonderful. Alright, the next entry is from Risiko. He made this funicular ride. Yeah, you can see these buildings here on one is on the lower end, one on the higher end, and yeah, these rides are usually pulled with a cable that's attached to both cars, and usually somewhere in the middle then there's a crossing point where both vehicles travel on their own piece of track. So yeah, most likely this is a shoestrung ride. As you can see, there's only one train, so both cars are actually part of the same train. So that's why they also will always travel at the same speed, and they always travel to the other station at the same time. So yeah, I think it's a really nice landscaping here. I really like the foliage that Risiko made here. Again, little river here, nice trees, nice decorations. I really like this little building here in the middle of this track. You can see a yodeler saying yodelaiti. Yeah, some nice buildings here as well for the station. Lots of layering, lots of details. Same for this building. So yeah, again, wonderful entry from Risiko. Alright, there's just 2 entries remaining. I will first show both of them, and after that I will reveal which one is the winner of this round. Alright, here's the entry from Raymond L. Raymond L made this scene from a Mario game, from a Super Mario Bros, the first one. Actually, I didn't notice it before, but there's a huge Mario here in the sky. I was mostly focused on this level, so I never actually saw it, but that's actually really cool. Yeah, this is just diagonal track that's only visible from one angle. Yeah, you can actually sometimes see a guest travel around here on a bicycle. Let's see if we can see it in action. Maybe if we speed it up. There we can see a guest traveling around. So yeah, it's every time it's just one guest at a time, but I think it's pretty cool to and pretty fun to see them go around. I think Raymond L did a really nice job here recreating a Mario scene. What I like is that there's also this underground part here. It's obviously looks like one of those areas you reach by going through a tube, and these obviously look like coins, and of course the tube that leads up again. But yeah, it just goes to show all the kinds of stuff you can make in Open Rollercoaster Tycoon 2. Also really like the structure for the side of the map. So yeah, Raymond L just really used the space that was available in this map really nicely. Great job. Alright, and here's the final entry. This is the map from Moo Beezies, who came back after an absence of almost 2 years, I believe. And oh wow. Moo Beezies did an incredible job here in this map. Now this coaster is a little bit on the fast side. Probably it could have done with a little bit less height here as well. But damn, this map really looks amazing. Yeah, I just love how this map is decorated. It has all these cool height differences, all these different layers. I think that works really well in parks where your space is really limited. And having different layers above each other just really makes your map stand out more. I love all these hot air balloons that are in the sky here. They're done really nicely with these River Rapids boats, with these spires above them with a campfire. Yeah, that's just such a cool trick. I will probably definitely see this more often in the future in other maps, because this is just so cool looking. Oh, of course, also a little rainbow here in the sky. All these cool signs, fountains. Yeah, just lots of cool tricks in this map. Lots of nice layering as well. Yeah, just an amazing comeback from Moo Beezies. Alright, with that done, it's now time to reveal which one of these last 2 entries is the winner of this round. Is it this map from Moo Beezies? Or is it the entry, the Super Mario entry from Raymond L? And the winner of the mini long plot contest is... Moo Beezies! This is a great comeback from Moo Beezies. It's wonderful to see players who haven't played in quite a while make their comeback in a contest and then actually take the win. Just an incredible feat. But yeah, if you look at this map, it really deserved it. It's just such a beautiful map. So yeah, I loved all the entries that we got in this map. I have a really fun idea for our next contest, so that one will start soon. yeah, if you enjoyed these entries, if you liked this video, please consider giving it a like. It would really help out my channel. Also, I would love to hear what was your favorite map in the comments. Hey, if you want to join one of these contests, you can become a member on my Discord server. The link's in the video description. It's completely free, so you don't have to worry about that. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again in the next one. See you later.